Hey Mosaic, it has been a wild couple weeks, and if you're anything like me, I love spontaneity as much as anyone, but I also am a creature of habit. I kind of have the same routine every morning. I know when I'm going to get up, I know when I'm going to read, I know when I'm going to work out, I know when I'm going to get to pray, I know when I get some quality time alone with my wife versus with the kids. I have a good routine here, and I really am the product of my routines. And then when coronavirus hit, everything went out the window. And I truthfully have not had a great routine since they shut down my gym, because that was kind of like the catalytic habit that enabled everything else to happen. So I think most people are like me in that, having to work from home or not being able to go do your normal rhythms, your life has kind of been a little chaotic. And when that happens, we tend to feel anxious, we tend to get restless, we tend to feel distracted and hurried. And I would say even more than anything, we tend to feel reactive as people. And ultimately, if you live a reactive life, you're not going to be able to be proactive in your pursuit of God. And so one of the first things to go spiritually for us is when life gets crazy, we tend to fall back and fall away from our spiritual disciplines. And I think it's really important that you and I both take a moment and think about, all right, what are some ways that we can combat living a life of restlessness? What are some ways that we can combat living a life of anxiety, constantly being pulled in different directions? So some of this is stuff that I've pulled from other pastors that I really respect who are better at this than me, but I wanted to offer 5 key ways to fight restlessness in your life, especially in the midst of all this coronavirus stuff, because right now is a good time, maybe more than ever, for you to really evaluate, all right, what are some new rhythms that I want to be true for me? Maybe they aren't right now, but what are the rhythms I want to be true for me that are going to advance me spiritually, help me pursue Jesus, help me know God, help me increase in my walk with Him? So 5 things real quick. Number 1 is set a hard time for when you're going to go to bed and when you're going to wake up. When you're working from home and you don't have a commute or you don't have your normal routine, it's super easy for Netflix to overtake your life. And so if you make it a priority to know when you're going to go to bed and when you're going to wake up, you will be better. Side note with this means don't have your phone in bed. Because if you have your phone in bed, you're not going to go to bed when you want to, and you're not going to get out of bed when you want to. I'm guilty of that. I actually have to charge my phone on a charger underneath my bed, so I actually have to get out and go get it because it forced me to get out. So number 1 is set a hard time for when you're going to go to bed and when you're going to wake up. Number 2 is to, before you touch your phone, before you watch a screen, spend some time in silence and contemplative prayer. That could just be 3 minutes where you just choose to be still and be quiet and just ask God to move in your life, to thank Him for some of the good things you have. I like to use 3 things I'm grateful for, 3 things that I want to get done for that day, and offer those up to God. But if you set a hard time when you wake up and you spend some time in silent, contemplative prayer, you're going to be fighting anxiety in a really good way. Number 3 is do something active, specifically like cardio or weightlifting. Cardio, the best thing for you is not even for your lungs. I think it's for your brain. It's just good for you. So if you go for a walk or you go play basketball, with a clean basketball, or you just do some push-ups from your house, you're going to feel better. You're going to fight that anxiety really well. Number 4, and this will be hard for some of you, is to limit your news intake to no more than twice a day. I just think as a former journalist, I know that they make their money by keeping you anxious and restless, so you need to watch. And I think if you're someone that deals with anxiety and maybe you feel restless in the season, I'm not saying what you watch is bad, but it might be the amount in which you watch it could be a problem. So I'd encourage you to step back from that and maybe say, okay, only twice a day am I going to let myself look at the news. We need to be informed to know how can we care for people in this environment and to take care of ourselves. But there's definitely an element where we can over-inform ourselves to the point where we're getting anxious for no reason. And then number 5, 5th step here, is to set some guardrails for your own escapism. What I mean is to set some guardrails for yourself to not fall into the trap of eating too much sugar, watching too much Netflix, drinking too much alcohol, or consuming too much social media. Those are all things that could be tools at times to help you relax or just enjoy yourself with some people, but they also can be traps, things that cause problems for us. So I would encourage you, if you're an addictive personality like I am a little bit, to consider setting a guardrail of how much sugar am I going to consume, how much alcohol do I need to have as a guardrail, how much Netflix should I stop watching after, and then how much social media should I really watch. But I think if you're setting an alarm clock, you're waking up to spend time with God, you're doing some sort of cardio every day, you're limiting your news intake, and you're monitoring the escapism that we're all prone to, you're going to position yourself to live a less restless, less anxious life, and most specifically, a proactive life, so you can pursue Jesus in this season instead of being reactive to all the craziness around you. So that's some things that I've been trying to do. Hope that helps you. Hope that could be a blessing to you. And let's go get it.